Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unscripted Seinfeld moments.
Oh, this is gonna be great!
For this list, we'll be taking a look at the best ad-libbed bits from the sitcom that weren't originally included in the script. Which of these improvised moments surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Nitrous oxide.
Well, you're looking sharp there, Tim. Yeah, well, I do what I can.
Before Malcolm in the Middle and Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston had a role on this sitcom as the eccentric dentist Tim Whatley. In the episode, The Jimmy, Jerry is visibly alarmed when Dr. Whatley takes a huff of nitrous oxide before putting him to sleep.
Cheryl, would you ready the nitrous oxide, please?
In a recent interview, Cranston told the story of how this hilarious and terrifying move was actually an improvised idea.
It'd be funny if you first took a hit of the laughing gas before you gave it to him. And I thought, my God, that is funny.
The actor decided to throw it into a take after hearing a suggestion from a crew member on the show. It just goes to show that if something unscripted is funny enough to impress showrunners Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, it's bound to make it into the final cut.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. That's good. That's funny. Good. Funny. Good. Yes. Good and funny. Yeah.
Number 9. And they're spectacular. The gang's shallow obsessions usually get them into trouble.
Sometimes when I think you're the shallowest man I've ever met, you somehow manage to drain a little more out of the pool.
This fact is doubly true when it comes to their romantic interests. In one episode, Terry Hatcher guest stars as Sidra, who dates Jerry after meeting him at their health club. Elaine convinces him that Sidra has implants, which leads to some impolite and inappropriate comments.
Well, then that's it. That's the end of that.
What, just because of that?
Just because of that? It's like finding out Mickey Mantle corked his bat.
Oh.
This built up to a big argument with an extremely memorable ending.
So, where were we?
I was just leaving.
Right, you were leaving.
According to Hatcher, Larry David would often give lines to the actors off the top of his head before they appeared in front of a live studio audience. When Sidra finally dumps Jerry, she reopens his door to deliver one iconic and impromptu line.
And by the way, they're real and they're spectacular.
Number 8. We'll go watch. Usually the end of a scene is the best time to throw in an extra line and hope for a laugh.
All right, let's go. All right. Yep.
With him.
You know, a lot of people have asked that.
In this episode, Elaine visits an ex-boyfriend who's in the hospital for a splenectomy. This ultimately leads to the famous Junior Mint accident in the operating room.
I don't want any. Just take one. No, Kramer, stop it.
But before the operation, Kramer has to convince a reluctant Jerry to come watch the surgery. Seinfeld finally relents and confirms he's going with the crude confirmation while he has a mouthful of food.
All right. Just let me finish my coffee. I'm gonna watch him go slice this fat bastard up.
We initially thought this hesitation before the line was scripted. In reality, Jerry's final line was improvised during rehearsal and added in to put a great button on the scene.
We were really out of the barn at that point, and we were really running wild across the prairie.
Number 7. Scratches.
How about this? You put your car in the good spot. That'll hold the good spot in front of the good building, and we can get the good car.
Good thinking.
In this episode, George illegally parks in a spot for people with physical disabilities. This results in an angry mob surrounding his car while he makes a quick escape. When the gang returns to find George's vehicle has been wrecked, Seinfeld breaks the silence.
You know, a lot of these scratches will buff right out.
His attempt to lighten the mood was surprisingly a spur-of-the-moment choice. A behind-the-scenes interview revealed that there were no lines scripted for the moment they saw the car.
We're looking at this totally destroyed machine, and we don't have a line for that moment.
Seinfeld was extremely satisfied that the right joke came to him when he needed it.
That is probably the most exciting moment for me, when you can come up with a line and someone goes, that's good, that'll work.
Number 6. The IV pole. George's pettiness really knows no bounds.
I gotta stay one step ahead of Neil.
What if it's Neil Armstrong?
Then I'm going to Mars.
In the later seasons of Seinfeld, Jason Alexander often found ways to express the character's spiteful nature without saying a single word. George demonstrated this perfectly in the English Patient episode. He's dismayed when his new love interest decides against moving in with him and chooses to stay with her hospitalized boyfriend instead. The rival is all too happy to rub this fact in George's face.
George. I win.
As he silently exits the room, Alexander took the chance to add an unscripted action and disconnect the man's IV line. This impromptu tug perfectly sums up how hilarious and terrible George can be.
Marry me. I'll burn myself. I'll burn my parents.
Number 5. You want a Christmas card? When Elaine decides to let Kramer take her photo for her Christmas cards, something was bound to go wrong.
Oh, look at what we have here. A Christmas card from Laney.
She sends them out to everyone she knows without realizing that a misbuttoned shirt gave the recipients a little more than they bargained for.
I sent this card to hundreds of people. My parents, my boss, and Aunt Papa.
Instead of sympathizing with Elaine, George complains about how he didn't receive a card. She then grabs his head and takes her frustration out on him.
You want a Christmas card? You want a Christmas card? All right, here. Here's your Christmas card.
According to Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the move was invented before anything was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
I grabbed his head and I rubbed his head in between my boobs and threw him back. And that was something that we came up with in rehearsal.
The crowd's reaction goes to show that this was a perfect addition to the scene. Number 4. The latex salesman.
Let's see, there's Vandelay Industries. I just saw them. I got very close there, very close.
And what type of company is that?
Latex manufacturing facility.
George's elaborate lies get him into trouble in the boyfriend episode. He decides to use Jerry's phone number as the contact for a fake latex company.
So now, when the phone rings, you have to answer Vandelay Industries.
I'm Vandelay Industries.
Right.
What is that?
You're in latex.
Unfortunately, Kramer picks up the phone and immediately starts ruining the scheme.
What delay industries?
No! Vandelay! Say Vandelay!
Now you're way off.
Although George runs from the bathroom in a desperate attempt to stop him, it's too late. While this hilarious exit was scripted, Jerry's final response wasn't. Upon finding George on the floor, the comedian says,
And you want to be my latex salesman.
just when you thought nothing could be funnier than seeing George run around with his pants around his ankles, Jerry stole the show.
And yeah, I mean, I got a great laugh out of it. But the capper was unbelievable. And he just, he just threw it in.
Number 3, Tic Tacs.
Tell you this, though. I am never doing that again.
What? You mean in your mother's house or all together?
All together.
Give me a break.
During this beloved episode about the gang's willpower, everyone is thoroughly challenged to remain masters of their domain. When George visits his mother in the hospital, he becomes distracted by an attractive patient receiving a sponge bath behind the curtain.
What is it you're doing exactly? George, your cousin Shelley is talking to you.
This makes him completely downplay his mother Estelle's complaints about the food. In one unscripted and perfectly timed toss, George offers a box of Tic Tacs as he continues to ignore her.
Here, have some Tic Tacs.
This was actually Estelle Harris's first appearance as George's mother. So the actress understandably got the giggles after Jason Alexander improvised this little action in the first attempt at this take.
I couldn't stop giggling for about 20 minutes.
I went, oh, I love this one. This is gold. Just gold.
Number 2, stalling.
Where's the car?
Well, I thought it was here.
You don't know where we parked?
We weren't expecting so much hilarity from a story where the gang gets hopelessly lost in the parking garage of a New Jersey mall and can't find their car. The complex stage set and the long hours of filming meant that a lot was riding on this episode to succeed.
When I wrote the parking garage, I really didn't think about the execution.
Luckily, the perfect ending to this adventure occurred completely by chance. In the original script, the gang is supposed to drive away after they finally find their car.
And that was going to be the end of the show. And there was some dialogue in the car, and then they would pull out and leave.
When Michael Richards gets into the driver's seat, the vehicle stalls when he attempts to start it. The other actors can even be seen laughing uncontrollably in the car.
You'll see the heads bobbing up and down.
Their real reactions made for an accidental ending that was just too good to omit from the episode.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Elaine's shove. Who would have guessed that one of Elaine's classic moves was originally unscripted? According to an old college classmate, the big push was something that Julia Louis-Dreyfus actually did in real life. The first time the actress pulled this move in the sitcom was in the episode The Apartment.
Do you remember Mrs. Hud Walker, the 94-year-old woman who lived above me?
No?
She died?
She died?
She died!
She died!
When Jerry finds Elaine a cheap rental in his building, she expresses her excitement with her iconic shove.
Get out!
It prompted such a great reaction from the audience that it became a staple of her personality. It's impossible to think of Elaine without picturing the shove now.
Get out!
This aggressive move is the perfect expression of her passion and impulsiveness.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.